It's Cleveland Indians baseball. We're at Cleveland Stadium today as the Indians take on the California Angels. It's the final game of a three-game series, which Cleveland has won the last two games. California has a six-game losing streak going on. They are currently in third place in the American League West, 6 games behind the first place Oakland A's. Oakland, for the record, has the best record in the majors right now at 21-9. California is 15-15. They're 6 games out. Cleveland is in fifth place in the American League East. They are 12-15, 6.5 games back behind the first place New York Yankees. But the Indians are a half game behind the fourth place Boston Red Sox. Cleveland's made a couple of roster moves. They called up Rich Hand from Wichita. Rich Hand was a Indians rookie last season, and he injured his arm in spring training on March 15th. So he didn't make the trip north from Arizona, and he started the season in Wichita, where Wichita manager Ken Aspromonte was watching him closely and apparently notified the Indians brass that Hand is coming along and pitching without pain and could help the Indians with their problematic pitching this year. After yesterday's game, Indians outfielder Buddy Bradford was sold to the Cincinnati Reds. And to take his place, the Indians have called up Kurt Bavacqua from Wichita. Bavacqua's never appeared in the major leagues, but he's a good utility man. He can play in both the infield and the outfield. He's played every infield position except first base. And he is with the team today. He arrived in Cleveland last night. Let's see, I saw a news item in the sporting news, not from a Cleveland writer, but he reported that Sam McDowell had a holdout this year during part of spring training, and an unnamed Indians official told him, Sam, just take a small raise right now, because when we're in Dallas next year, you can get a big one. So, I don't know. Are rumors back that the Indians are going to move? Is it going to be like 1965, where the rumors were all over the place that Cleveland was moving to Seattle? It's well known that Indians owner Vern Stouffer is having serious financial problems. He's the head of Stouffer Foods, and he also bought a company that manufactures microwaves. Anyone around in 1970 or 71 would know that microwaves weren't common in people's houses, but they were common in like industrial settings, in airports, stuff like that. But instead of taking his, or he sold, yeah, he sold, he took it. I'm trying to remember how this went. He took payment from somebody. It may have been from the microwave company that may have bought something from him, but he took his payment in stock instead of cash, and within a year the stock crashed. So he's having a hard time getting cash together. He may have sold part of his interest in Stouffer Foods. I don't remember exactly how it went. But he's having some severe financial problems. And reportedly, the Indians are on the market. And whether they're trying to court out of state buyers and moving the team, I don't know. This is the first I've read about it in 1971. So we'll see how that goes. All right, we're going to take a brief timeout and come back with the starting lineups. All right, here we are at Cleveland Stadium. Cleveland takes on California. California has lost 6 straight, like I said. Archie Reynolds takes the mound for California. He's making his first start of the year. Like Rich Hand, he was just called up from Salt Lake City. He'll be opposed by Rich Hand. He's making his first start of the year. So we have 2 recent call-ups making their first pitching starts of the year. Ted Uhlaender is riding a 10-game hitting streak. It's 71 degrees and we have light rain. Starting lineup for the California Angels will be as follows. Leading off, the second baseman, Sandy Alomar. Batting second, the left fielder, Tony Gonzalez. Batting third, the third baseman, Ken McMullen. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Jim Spencer. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Jim Fregosi. Batting sixth, the catcher, John Stevenson. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Ken Berry. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Tony Canigliaro. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Archie Reynolds. Cleveland defense will be at first base is Ken Harrelson. At second base, John Lowenstein. Eddie Leone at shortstop. Third baseman will be Greg Nettles. In left field is Ted Uhlaender. Vada Pinson in center field. Roy Foster in right field. Catching is the third string catcher, Chuck Hinton. And on the mound, Rich Hand making his first start of the year. I was not able to find Rich Hand's stats for what he did at Wichita. But last year in his rookie season, he made 29 starts, made 5 relief appearances. He had a record of 11-12 with an ERA of 4.74. He didn't have a bad rookie season, from what I recall. California, they're still probably wondering what happened yesterday. They hit 4 home runs and they still lost the game. Lost the game 8-7 in the bottom of the 9th when Ken Harrelson won the game with a base hit. All right, and here we go. Leading off is Sandy Alomar, who's hitting .236 with 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Chad's fastball pitcher, he can bring some heat. Control was his biggest issue. He Last year, he gave up 90 walks while striking out 131 batters. It's a high chopper, second, Hand running over to cover first. They got him, 1 out. Oh, wait, that was Harrelson then. Sorry, my mistake. I thought Lowenstein got that one. Here is Tony Gonzalez hitting .280, no home runs, 1 run batted in. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the fastball, 2 outs. Here is Ken McMullen. He's hitting .287 with 4 home runs and 15 runs batted in. The 2-2 pitch. It's a hard grounder to second. Lowenstein's up with it. The throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for California in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It is California nothing. Cleveland coming to bat. All right, and let's look up the Cleveland Indians starting lineup. Leading off is the first center fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting second, the left fielder, Ted Uhlaender. Batting third, the shortstop, Eddie Leone. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the catcher, Chuck Hinton. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Roy Foster. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Ken Harrelson. Batting eighth, the second baseman, John Lowenstein. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Rich Hand. On defense, California has Jim Spencer at first, Sandy Alomar at second, Jim Fregosi at shortstop, Ken McMullen at third, Tony Gonzalez in left, Ken Berry in center, Tony Conigliaro in right, John Stevenson catching, and on the mound is Archie Reynolds. He's a hard thrower, just like Rich Hand. He came over in the middle of last season from the Cubs for Juan Pizarro. Archie Reynolds had 3 very brief trials with the Cubs in 68, 69, and 70, and this is his first appearance with the California Angels. He's out there trying to break the Angels' 6-game losing streak. Angels are in third place behind Oakland and the surprising Chicago White Sox. Chuck Tanner's doing a heck of a job in California, in Chicago as their new manager. He took over from Don Gutteridge in the middle of September last year. But he looks like he's putting his mark on that team now. They might be the most surprising team in the majors right now, them in Washington. Washington's in third place. All right, here's Vada Pinson, who's hitting .287, 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in. He's hitting .353 in May. It's a high chopper to third. McMullen up with it. The throw, gonna be close. Safe! Pinson safe. Great hustle down the line. He legged out a base hit. Here is Ted Uhlaender, the left fielder, hitting .321. No home runs, 4 runs batted in. He has a 10-game hitting streak going on. High and outside, ball 1. Ball 2. Strike 1 called. Pops it up on the infield. Alomar calling for it, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Eddie Leon. He's hitting .314, no home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's having an excellent month of May. Hitting .406 in May. And just for reference, this game of May 9th, 1971. Some of the Indians players were talking about the ABA championship game last night against Indiana and Kentucky. Indiana had a 3-0 lead in the series, and Kentucky rallied in the fourth quarter to tie the game at the end of regulation time. The game went into overtime, and Indiana squeaked by with a 2-point win, winning the championship after the sweep against Kentucky. Later today will be Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Bruins and the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs won the first 2 games of that series, and the Bruins have won 3 in a row, including winning Game 5 in overtime. So it's do or die for Toronto tonight. All right, Greg Nettles is on deck. Another fastball. Inside on the black. Strike 1. High and inside. Ball 1. I was able to find Archie Reynolds' stats with Salt Lake City. He pitched in 4 games. He had 29 innings pitched. He had 29 strikeouts and a 2-2 record with an ERA of 3.72. Wasn't able to find out what Rich Handler's numbers were in Wichita, though. Ball 2. Swing and a miss. That was out of the strike zone. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Frozen rope down right field line. It's in the corner. Leon's heading for second. Slides. He's safe. Says Leon continues to rip California pitching. Let's see what he's doing against California. Sitting .455 against California. 10 for 22, 3 doubles, 2 runs, 4 runs batted in, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, I'd say he's ripping California pitching. Here is Greg Nettles. He's hitting .298, 7 home runs, and 22 runs batted in. Looks like he is 3rd in the AL with home runs behind Frank Howard and Boog Powell. Pretty good company. Curveball outside, ball 1. Inside corner at the knee, strike 1. Just caught the inside corner, strike 2. Ooh, that almost hit him. 2-2. High and inside, ball 3, full count. It's ground ball to second. Alomar up with it. So only plays the first. Pinson scores. Leon takes 3rd as Alomar throws Nettles out. 2 outs. The Indians take a 1-0 lead. Here is Chuck Hinton. Indians are giving Ray Fosse a day off, possibly because this week the Indians face 2 first-place teams. They have Oakland comes in for 2 games on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they have a 4-game weekend series in New York against the Yankees. including a doubleheader on Sunday. So they're probably giving Fosse a break to get set up for those games. Roy Foster's on deck. Off-speed pitch. That was a nice grab by Stevenson to prevent a wild pitch. Ball one. Fly ball down the left field line. Fregosi, Gonzalez after it, but it makes the seats. Strike one. Pops it up. Third base side. Foul ground. McMullen after it. Can he get it? No, it makes the seats. Outside, ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. Outside and low, ball 3. Full count. Payoff pitch. Leone will be gone. It's a ground ball to second. Alomar up with it to throw to first. 3 outs. But the Indians get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We've played 1 inning in Cleveland. It's the Indians 1, the Angels nothing. In the second inning for California, it will be Jim Spencer, Jim Fregosi, and Jerry Stevenson. Let me see. Yeah, Jim Spencer hit 1 of 4 home runs for the Angels in yesterday's game. Yeah, yesterday, Sandy Alomar, Ken McMullen, Jim Spencer, and Jerry Stevenson hit home runs. Angels had to be wondering, how many times you hit 4 home runs and lose a game? Three of those home runs were solo home runs, and McMullen hit a 3-run home. Except for the launching pad at Fulton County Stadium, there have been more home runs hit in Cleveland Stadium than any other ballpark. Spencer's hitting .261 with 6 home runs and 19 runs batted in. It's a bouncer to first. Harrelson, it's under his glove and he's safe. That is error number 6 for the Hawk. Here is Jim Fregosi, the only original Angel left on their roster. He's hitting .272, no home runs, 13 runs batted in. Jim Fregosi, he was the MVP of the 1967 All-Star game, and that game was played in Anaheim. He's hitting .412 against Cleveland. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. High, ball 4. Here is John Stevenson. He's hitting .163, 1 home run, 1 run batted in. That home run was yesterday. Ball 1, inside. That made the stands. Strike 1. Lays down a bunt, but that's foul. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a bouncer to third. Nettles to second. There'll be no throw to first. One out with runners at the corners. Here is Ken Berry, who's hitting .242, 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Fouls it back, strike one. High and away, ball one. Ball two. The hard grounder to third. Nettles with the throw to the plate. Hitting with the tag, but he's safe. Stevenson takes second. Berry on first on the fielder's choice. We're tied at one. Here is Tony Conigliaro, who's hitting .287 with 1 home run and 10 runs batted in. Fastball, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. Fouls it back, strike two. Inside, ball two. Another inside, ball three. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike three. Looked like Conigliaro swung at a bad pitch. 2 outs. And here's the pitcher, Archie Reynolds. Curveball. He hits a line drive down the right field line. That's foul. Low and outside, ball one. Grounder to short. Leone tosses to second for the third out. 1 run. No hits. 1 error. 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second. We are tied at 1. Talking to Lefty Phillips before the game about Archie Reynolds. He said he got good reports from him at Salt Lake. And he needs him to go as far as he can this game because the Angels' bullpen is full of weary arms. They really need a day off. But the Angels don't have a day off this week until Thursday. So their pitching is struggling right now. Leading off in the second inning for Cleveland is Roy Foster. He's hitting .197, 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in. It's a hard grounder to short. Fragosi's throw, 1 out. Here is Ken Harrelson, the first baseman. He's struggling of late at the plate. He's hitting .235, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. He got off to a hot start, but he's cooled off. The 1-1 pitch. It's fly ball in the center field. Ken Berry going back at the track, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here is John Lowenstein. He's hitting .120, 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. He is 3 for 25 on the season. The 0-1 pitch. It's a grounder right back to the mound, but it bounces to Alomar. Alomar throws, and he threw it into the seats. Lowenstein ends up at second base. Did it bounce off of Reynolds? Let's see. Off the pitcher's glove. Here is Rich Hand. He's making his first appearance at the plate. Just like his counterpart, Archie Reynolds, just did. Strike one called. Swing and a miss, strike two. High and inside, ball one. It's a base hit up the middle. Lowenstein scores. Rich Hand comes through with a hit his first time up. Here is Veda Pinson. He's 1-for-1. He's singled on the infield in the first inning. Breaking ball. He pops it up. First base side. Spencer's after it. But it makes the seats. Swing and a miss. He chased a curveball out of the zone. Strike two. Hits a grounder to second. Alomar dives. Tosses it to Fregosi. 3 outs. They get 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We played 2 in Cleveland. It is Cleveland 2, California 1. It'll be Alomar, Gonzalez, and McMullen for the Angels. Alomar's 0-for-1. He grounded out to Harrelson first time up. The 0-2 pitch. It's a fly ball into center field. Pinson to his right. Has it. 1 out. Here's Tony Gonzalez. He's 0-for-1. He struck out his first time up. The 0-2 pitch. Hits a grounder to second. Lowenstein has it to throw to first. 2 outs. And here's Ken McMullen. He's 0-for-1. He grounded to the second his first time up. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to short. Leone up with it to throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for California in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Cleveland 2, California 1. I gotta say, despite their losing record so far, I like this 71 Indians team because they're like a lot of the teams we used to go see in the later 70s. Despite having losing record, it was usually an interesting or decent game when we went down to see them. We rarely saw the Indians get blown out. Indians usually kept it close, but probably lost more games than they won at games we attended in the 70s. But I remember seeing them win fairly often. So I don't know. I don't remember, like, I can't go back and pinpoint every game I went to when I was a kid. In the bottom of the third, it will be Ted Uhlaender, Eddie Leone, and Greg Nettles. Uhlander's 0-for-1. He popped out his first time up. He has a 10-game hitting streak. The 3-1 pitch. Base hit into right field. He extends his hitting streak to 11 straight. And here is Eddie Leone, who's 1-for-1. He doubled in the first. Swing and a miss, strike one. Reynolds is throwing hard today. Deep fly ball down the right field line. Cagliero after it. It's in foul ground, and it makes the stands. It's like it hit the yellow past the bullpen. The red seats were general admission as well as the yellow seats. The yellow seats, I think, all around the stadium were all general admission on both decks. And until you reach the bullpens, I believe, I remember the Reds were box seats. Yeah, the bullpens are right here. This is the Indians bullpen, and this is the Angels bullpen. The 0-2 pitch, curveball, ball one. Inside, ball two. Evens the count. Base hit in the left field. Sorry. Eulander's heading for third. The throw to third. He's out. Gonzalez threw him out. Leone took second on that throw. So there's one out. Runner on second. Here is Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1. He grounded into a fielder's choice in the first, and that scored Veda Pinson. Inside, ball one. Outside, ball two. That may have been a break for the Angels. Ooh, he got hit on the leg. Nettles just takes first. I think he realized that Reynolds did not want to hit him and put him on base in that position. Here is Chuck Hinton, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out last time up. Strike one called. This Reynolds, he is, let's see how old he is. 25. He's throwing hard. Strike two called. Fly ball to left field. Gonzalez is there. He has it. 2 outs. The runners will hold. Here is Roy Foster, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the second inning. Ken Harrelson's on deck. Curveball, ball one. Just caught the inside corner. Strike one. Low, ball two. Strike two called. Another hit batter. He was hit on the leg. That loads the bases for Ken Harrelson, the Hawk. He has 1 grand slam on the season. He's 0 for 1. He flied out in the second inning. Lowenstein's on deck. Breaking ball. Caught the outside corner. Strike one. Bouncer down the first base line, but it's foul. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Reynolds got himself out of a jam that inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left the bases loaded. We've played 3 in Cleveland. It is Cleveland 2, California 1. Let's take a look around the league. Top of the 5th in Baltimore, the Orioles lead Oakland 2-1. Looks like Tommy Davis is 3 for 3. That is Chuck Dobson against Dave McNally. There have been rumors that the Indians are interested in obtaining Chuck Dobson. Bottom of the 3rd at Shea Stadium, the Cardinals lead the Mets 3-0. That's Reggie Cleveland against Gary Gentry. Top of the 5th at Tiger Stadium, Detroit leads Kansas City 3-1. That is Mike Hedlund against Joe Niekro. Mike Hedlund has had 2 good pitching performances against Cleveland this year. He got one of his wins and one of his losses against Cleveland. He's 3-2 on the year. Top of the 5th in Montreal, the Expos lead the Cubs 1-0. That's Bill Hands against Steve Renko. Bottom of the third at Philadelphia. It's the Astros 6, the Phillies 1. Don Money of the Phillies hit his third home run. That's Jack Billingham for Houston against Rick Wise for Philadelphia. Bottom of the first in Minnesota, no score. Washington and Minnesota. That is Gary Janeski against Bert Blyleven. Bert Blyleven was the Rookie of the Year in 1969. Top of the second in Comiskey Park. No score between the Yankees and the White Sox. That is Steve Kline against Joe Horland. And top of the second at County Stadium in Milwaukee. No score between the Red Sox and the Brewers. That is Ken Tatum against Skip Lockwood. And now back to the action at Cleveland Stadium in the fourth inning. It will be Jim Spencer, Jim Fregosi, and Jerry Stevenson for the Angels. Jim Spencer is 0 for 1. He was safe on an error this last time. Up the 1-2 pitch. Liner down the first base line, but that is foul. The 1-2 pitch. It's fly ball to center. Pinson going back on the track near the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Jim Fregosi. He walked in the second inning. The 3-1 pitch. Tulo, ball 4. That's his second walk of the game. Second walk given up by hand. Here is Jerry Stevenson. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the second. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Pops it up. Leone calls for it, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Ken Berry. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third. Stevenson scored. And he took first on the fielder's choice. Nettles tried to throw Stevenson out at the plate. Or he tried to throw, it was Spencer that scored. Nettles tried to throw him out at the plate, but his throw was too late. A little bit of chin music. Ball 1. There goes Fregosi. Hit his throw. He's safe. That's Fregosi's first stolen base of the year. Guess he figured he'd take a chance since the strong arm Ray Fosse wasn't back there. That pitch was a strike. It is 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Inside on the black, strike 2 on the changeup. Another changeup, strike 3 called. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is Cleveland 2, California 1. It'll be Lowenstein, Hand, and Pinson for the Indians in the fourth. Indians have 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They've left 5. California has 1 run, no hits, 1 error. They've left 3. Cleveland scored in the first. Fada Pinson singled on the infield. Then with 1 out, Leone doubled. Pinson went to third. Then Greg Nettles grounded to second, and Pinson scored on the fielder's choice. Top of the second. Jim Spencer was safe on an error. Fregosi walked. Stevenson grounded to third. That forced Fregosi at second. Spencer went to third. Then Spencer scored when Berry grounded to third, and Nettles was not able to throw Spencer out at the plate. And in the bottom of the second, with 2 outs, Lowenstein was safe on an error. He made it to second. Rich Hand grounded a single up the middle, and Lowenstein scored, and that's where we're at right now. Lowenstein is 0 for 1. He was safe at second on an error last time up. The 0-1 pitch. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. Tony Gonzalez coming in, and he has it. 1 out. Here is Rich Hand. He singled his last time up and drove in a run. So he is 1 for 1 today. 2-0 pitch. Pops it up. Short center field. Fregosi going back. Berry coming in, and it dropped between them. Fregosi, Berry, and Alomar all got tangled up. That's a cheap hit for Hand. Let's watch that one again. Fregosi calling for it. Berry coming in. Alomar thought he might have it. And just like that, Rich Hand is 2 for 2 today. Here is Veda Pinson. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first. And he grounded into a force play in the second. Too high, ball 1. Another fastball, ball 2. You got a piece of it, foul ball. Reynolds has been plagued by some shady defense today. Outside, ball 3. Outside, ball 4. First walk given up by Archie Reynolds. Here is Ted Uhlaender, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the third. Stevenson's out to talk to him. Uhlander's hitting 133 with runners in scoring position. High and away, ball 1. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 1. Curve, outside and high, ball 2. Strike 2 called. Ball 3. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Second walk of the game given up by Reynolds. Looks like he's losing a little bit of zip on his fastball. Here is Eddie Leone, who's 2 for 2. He doubled in the first, and he singled in the third. And Uhlaender was out trying to take third on that double. Hitting 338 against right-handers. Ball 1. Swing hits a ground ball to second. The toss to short for 1. The first. Double play. Uhlaender took Fregosi out, but Fregosi made the relay. So Cleveland gets no runs on 1 hit. No errors, and they left 1 on base. We played 4 in Cleveland. It is Cleveland 2, California 1. And I have to take a timeout here. This is WJST in Parma, Tuscaloosa, Norwich, Columbus, and Utah. And we're back. Heading to the 5th inning. California will send up Canigliaro, Reynolds, and Alomar. Tony C is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch, fastball. Fly ball down the right field line. Foster's after it, but it hits the stands. Foul ball. Fouls it back. Hinton is after it, but it makes the seats. Foul tip. It's a blooper right to the shortstop. Leone was right there. 1 out. Here is Archie Reynolds. He grounded into a force play in the second inning. Oh, they're calling him back. Roger Repos will pinch hit. Repos is hitting 132, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. He's hitting 200 as a pinch hitter. He is 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Repos originally came up with the Yankees, then was traded to the Kansas City Athletics, and the Kansas City A's traded him to California during the 1967 season, and he's been with the Angels ever since. 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Here is Sandy Alomar, who's 0 for 2 today. Fastball, strike 1 called. Fouls it back, but it makes the seats. Curveball in the 0-2 pitch. He fouls that one back. Count remains 0-2. 6th inning in Detroit, the Tigers lead the Royals 3-1. Detroit got off to a terrible start this year. They're still in last place. They are 8-18. They're 3.5 games behind the 5th place Indians. Low, ball 1. But Billy Martin, he's being patient so far. In the dirt, ball 2. Strike 3 called. Alomar got crossed up there. 2 outs, and here is Tony Gonzalez, who's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Inside, ball 1. Ball 2. It's a base hit in the left field. Repos rounds second. He'll go to third. That's the first hit of the game for California. Here is Ken McMullen. He's 0 for 2. He has a pair of groundouts. It's grounded right back to the mound. Hand up with it. Go to first. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's an official game here in Cleveland. The Indians lead 2-1. Now pitching for California is Mel Queen. he's making his 11th appearance of the season. He has no one-loss record. He has one save. He's an ERA of 3.09. He's pitched 11 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 12 hits, walked 9, and struck out 11. Leading off for the Indians in the bottom of the fifth is Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1. Nettles grounded out in the first. That scored Vada Pinson, and he was hit by a pitch in the third. The 0-1 pitch. Base hit up the middle. There's Chuck Hinton, who is 0 for 2. He grounded out and he flied out. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Strike one. Mel Queen, he's another hard thrower. Low, ball one. Foul tip. Strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Way outside. Wild pitch. Nettles takes second. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hitting with a base hit into center field. Berry up with it. Nettles will hold at third. Here is Roy Foster. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out and he was hit by a pitch in the third. Hitting 143 with runners in scoring position. And 220 against right-handers. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Strike two. He's in the right field. Canigliero's up with it. Hitting around second. He'll take third. Indians lead 3-1. Runners at the corner. No one out. Here is Ken Harrelson, the Hawk. He's 0 for 2. He flied out and he struck out. That's in there at the knees. Strike one. Fly ball down the right field line. Canigliero after it. But it's out of play. Strike two. Down and outside, ball one. Fourth inning in Comiskey Park. The White Sox lead the Yankees 4-0. Popped it up, first base side and foul ground. Spencer's after it, but it makes the seats. Count remains 1-2. Ball 2. Count evens at 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mel Queen gets his first strikeout of the game. Here is John Lowenstein, who is 0 for 2. He was safe on an error in the second, and he flied out in the fourth. Swing and a miss, strike one. Caught the outside half of the plate, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Curveball, ball one. Changeup, low and inside, ball 2. Count evens at 2-2. Pops it up, third base side and foul ground. McMullen after it. He's got it. He was near the fans. Pinch hitting for Rich Hand will be Gomer Hodge. Steve Hargan warming up for Cleveland. Gomer Hodge is hitting 136, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting 100 with 1 RBI. He's 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Fastball, too low, ball 1. Ball 2. Too high, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Down and tight, ball 4. Hodge was taken all the way, but the bases are loaded. 2 outs. And here's Veda Pinson, who's hitting 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first, grounded into a force play in the second, and walked in the fourth. Stevenson out to talk to Queen. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Off the corner, ball 1. It's a high fly ball to right field. Canigliaro is there, and he's got it. For the second time this game, the Indians leave the bases loaded. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and they left the bases loaded. We go to the 6th inning. Cleveland leads 3-1. Cleveland's left 10 men on base today. Coming in to pitch is Steve Hargan. This is 8th appearance of the year. He has a record of 1-4 with no saves, an ERA of 4.84. 35 in the third innings. He's given up 44 hits, 4 home runs. He's walked 18 and struck out 14. Here is Jim Spencer. The 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. 1 out. Here is Jim Fregosi. He's been up twice, and he walked in the second and walked in the fourth. Sitting 200 against right-handers. The 1-0 pitch. Ooh, the pitch hit him in the knee. Hope that wasn't a purpose pitch after Archie Reynolds hit 2 hitters. But I don't think Archie Reynolds was trying to hit anybody. Here is John Stevenson. I keep calling him Jerry for some reason. I don't know why. He's 0 for 2. He grounded into a force play and popped out. Ken Berry's on deck. Just below the belt, strike 1. Low and just inside, ball 1. Hargan's a fastball pitcher as well, but he doesn't throw as hard as guys like Rich Hand or Steve Dunning or Sam McDowell. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He's had some serious arm trouble the last 3 or 4 seasons. It's a sharp grounder to short. Leo de Lowenstein to first, not in time. Stevenson's on first. 2 outs, and here is Ken Berry, who's 0 for 2. Hit into a fielder's choice when Nettles tried to throw Spencer out at the plate, and he struck out in the 4th. High and inside, ball 1. Curveball, strike 1 called. Low and outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Last couple of years, I've liked using Hargan as a reliever more than as a starter. I guess with the exception of last year, because usually he'll give you a few good innings and then he'll get hit hard for one bad inning. Usually like around the fifth or the sixth. Fly ball down the left field line. Eulander's after it, but it makes the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 called. Second strikeout of the inning for Hargan. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Cleveland 3, California 1. Ted Eulander will lead off for the Indians in the 6th. He is 1 for 3, or 1 for 2 rather. He is a single and a walk. The 0-2 pitch hits a weak grounder to second. Alomar up with it. Has a lot of time. He throws him out. 1 out. Here's Eddie Leon. He's 2 for 3. He doubled in the first, singled in the third, and grounded into a double play in the fourth. So he has been hitting the ball hard. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball. He pops it up on the infield. Fregosi calling for it. That's 2 outs. And here is Greg Nettles, who's 1 for 2. He grounded into a fielder's choice. Or no, he grounded out to second in the first. Pinson scored. He was hit by a pitch in the third, and he lined a single up the middle in the fifth. 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to short. Fregosi up with it. Throw was a little high. Spencer had a leap for it, but he made the out. Nothing across for Cleveland in the 6th. We go to the 7th. It's Cleveland 3, California 1. It'll be Canigliaro, the pitcher spot, and Alomar for California in the 7th. Canigliaro's 0 for 2. He struck out and lined out. 2-2 pitch. Changeup. It's fly ball into center field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. 1 out. Pinch hitting for Mel Queen is Billy Cowan. Cowan is hitting 111 on the year. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. He's 1 for 13 as a pinch hitter. The 1-0 pitch. Base hit into center field. That makes it to the wall. Cowan rounds first. He slides. He's safe with a double. That's his 2nd double of the year. Here's Sandy Alomar, who's 0 for 3. He grounded out in the first, flied out in the third, and struck out in the 5th. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Curveball. He checked his swing. No swing, says the umpire. Ball 1. It's a grounder to second. Lowenstein's up with it. Throw to first. 2 outs, and Cowan moves to third. And Tony Gonzalez, he's 1 for 3 today. He singled in the 5th. Ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Strike 1 called. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a base hit in the right field. Cowan scores. It's 3-2. Here's Ken McMullen. He's 0 for 3. He has 3 groundouts today. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Just off the ground. Ball 2. Low and inside. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball 4. Here is Jim Spencer. He's 0 for 3. He was safe on an error. Flied out and struck out. Line drive up the middle, base hit. Gonzalez scores. We're tied. And here's Jim Fregosi. He has not had an official plate appearance yet. He walked twice and he was hit by a pitch. Strike 1 called. Too high, ball 1. It's fly ball to left field. Eulander going back. He's near the wall and he's got it. 3 outs, but California gets 2 runs. 3 hits. No errors. They left 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. We are tied at 3 apiece. And let's check out around the league again. In the middle of the 7th, final score in Baltimore. The Orioles beat Oakland 4-1. One of the Robinsons went 3 for 3. Doesn't indicate whether it's Brooks or Frank. Frank's off to a slow start this year. And Dave McNally got the win. He is 4-1. No report on who the losing pitcher was. Final at Tiger Stadium. Tigers beat the Royals 6-1. Joe Niekro gets the win. He's 2-2. Final in Montreal, the Cubs came back and beat the Expos 4-3. Jim Hickman got his 5th home run of the year for Chicago. Bill Hands gets the win. He's 4-2. Final at Veterans Stadium. Astros beat the Phillies 12-1. Jim Wynn, the toy cannon, was 3 for 5. Jack Billingham got the win. He's 6-0. Rick Wise took the loss. He is 2-4. Bottom of the 6th at Comiskey Park. The White Sox lead the Yankees 7-3. Rick Reichart hit his 3rd home run of the year for Chicago. That is Steve Klein against Joe Horland. And bottom of the 7th at County Stadium, the Brewers lead the Red Sox 6-1. Former Indian Tommy Harper was 3 for 3. That is Bill Lee pitching for the Red Sox and Skip Lockwood pitching for the Brewers. Here in the bottom of the 7th for the Indians, it will be Chuck Hinton, Roy Foster, and Ken Harrelson. We have a new pitcher, Lloyd Allen. Another good-looking rookie. He's making his 9th appearance of the season. He is 1-0 with 5 saves, an ERA of .73. In 12 1/3 innings, he's given up 9 hits, one of those a home run. He's walked 10 and struck out 10. Here is Chuck Hinton, who is 1 for 3. He singled in the 5th. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here is Roy Foster. He's 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch, and he singled in the 5th, and that scored Greg Nettles. 1-1 pitch. He hits a fly ball in the right field. Canigliero's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Sixth inning in Minnesota. The Twins lead the Senators 3-2. Here is Ken Harrelson. He's 0 for 3 today. He has 2 strikeouts. The 1-1 pitch. It's ground ball to third. McMullen has it to throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the 7th. After 7, it is California 3, Cleveland 3. It'll be John Stevenson, Ken Berry, and Tony Canigliero for California in the 8th. Hargan is back out on the mound. The 0-1 pitch. It's a fly ball in center field. Vada Pinson drifting over, and he's got it. 1 out. Ken Berry, he's 0 for 3. He hit a grounder to third that turned into a fielder's choice when Greg Nettles tried to throw Jim Spencer out at the plate and was unsuccessful. The 1-2 pitch. It's a blooper right to the shortstop. Leone is right there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here is Tony Canigliero. He's 0 for 3. Struck out, lined out, and flied out. 3-2 pitch. It's a weak fly ball in the center field. Pinson coming in, and he's got it. 3 outs. Nothing across for California in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cleveland 3, California 3. For the Indians, it will be Lowenstein, Hargan, and Pinson. Lowenstein is 0 for 3 today. He was safe on an error, flied out, and popped out. The 1-2 pitch. Caught the inside corner, strike 3. 1 out. Pinch hitting for Steve Hargan is Jack Heidemann. Heidemann is hitting 162. No home runs, no runs batted in. He is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. One-two pitch. Grounder to third. McMullen up with it to throw to first. Bang, bang, play. He's out. Here is Vada Pinson, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the first. He has 1 walk today. He fouled it right off the mask of Stevenson. Strike 1. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Nothing across for Cleveland in the 8th. We played 8 complete. It is California 3, Cleveland 3. New pitcher for Cleveland will be Vince Colbert. Making his 10th appearance of the season. He has a record of 1-0, no saves, and an ERA of 3.86. Pitched in 16 in the 3rd innings. He's given up 18 hits. He has walked 5 and struck out 13. Colbert's another hard-throwing youngster. It'll be the pitcher's spot. Sandy Alomar and Tony Gonzalez. Will Lloyd Allen lead off? Hey, he'll lead off. The 1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Leone up with it. Throw to first. Looks like Lefty Phillips wasn't kidding about having no arms available in the bullpen. Here's Sandy Alomar, who's 0 for 4. 2-0 pitch. Popped it up on the infield. Nettles calls for it. He's got it. 2 outs. And here's Tony Gonzalez. He's 2 for 4, having a good day today. He singled in the 6th. And he singled in the 7th, driving in a run. It's a one bouncer to short. Leone up with it to throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across in the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. California 3, Cleveland 3. For Cleveland in the 9th, it will be Ted Uhlaender, Eddie Leone, and Greg Nettles. On the bench, the Indians have Ray Fosse, who's getting a rest day, and 2 youngsters, Kurt Bavacqua and Lou Camilli. They have Ted Ford is out. He's day-to-day, but he was scratched today. The 0-1 pitch to Uhlaender. Base hit into center field. That's his second hit today. Here is Eddie Leone. He's 2 for 4 today. Double in the first, single in the third. No doubles defense. He lays down a bunt. Allen picks it up. His only play is to Alomar at first. 1 out. Uhlaender takes second. Here is Greg Nettles. He is 1 for 3 today. He had a ground out in the first that scored a run. He was hit by a pitch. He singled in the 5th and grounded out in the 6th. He has 3 game-winning RBIs on the season. He can win it with a hit. He's hitting .296 against right-handers. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Chuck Hinton is on deck. High, ball 2. It's a grounder through the right side. Base hit in the right field. Uhlaender holds at third. Runners at the corner. 1 out. Chuck Hinton is up. He is 1 for 4 today. He singled in the 5th. Infield is in. Outfield is in. It's a hard grounder down the first base line, but that's foul. This is an identical situation to Friday night when Ken Harrelson got the game-winning hit. Except the Indians had runners on second and third that night. High and outside, ball 1. Way inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Up and outside, ball 3. 3 and 1. Base hit into left field. Uhlaender scores. Indians win. Indians win 4-3. They sweep the 3-game series against California. We'll be right back with the highlights. For Cleveland, it was 4 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. California had 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Vince Colbert gets the win. He's 2-0. And Lloyd Allen takes the loss. He's 1-1. Had 2 guys making their first appearance of the season as starters, Archie Reynolds and Rich Hand. Thought Rich Hand looked pretty good. Reynolds looked decent as well, although he looked like he was starting to weaken in the 4th inning. He'd probably be better suited being a relief pitcher than starter. No home runs today. Seems kind of unusual at a game at Cleveland Stadium. Cleveland left 10 men on base. They left the bases loaded twice. California left 8 men on base. In the first inning, Greg Nettles hit it into a ground out that led that a run scored on. That made it 1-0 Cleveland. Then in the top of the second, Ken Berry hit it into a ground out, scoring one. That tied the score. The second inning with a man on second, Rich Hand in his first at bat singled. That made it 2-1 Cleveland. Then in the fifth inning, Cleveland sent 7 hitters to the plate. Roy Foster singled, scoring Nettles. That made it 3-1 Cleveland, but the Indians left the bases loaded for the second time that game. Then in the seventh inning, California sent 7 batters to the plate. Tony Gonzalez singled, scoring pinch hitter Billy Cowan. That made it 3-2 Cleveland. And then Jim Spencer singled, scoring Gonzalez, and that tied the score at 3-3. And then in the bottom of the ninth, with runners on first and third, and 1 out, Chuck Hinton singled. That was his second hit of the game. Playing as giving Ray Fosse a day off, and that scored the winning run, and Cleveland wins it 4-3. Cleveland's won 3 in a row now. They swept California in this 3-game series. California's lost 7 in a row. Cleveland has a day off tomorrow. Then they have games Tuesday and Wednesday, twilight games against Oakland. Then they travel to the Bronx for a 4-game series. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and then a doubleheader on Sunday. Yeah, Cleveland I think they got what they were looking for out of Rich Hand, at least in his first start of the year. Pitched 5 solid innings. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned. Walked 3, struck out 4. And he was throwing strikes. Archie Reynolds, he seemed like a relief pitcher, kind of thrust into starting. He kind of weakened. He was throwing a lot of strikes in the first 2 innings, and then was starting to lose his control in the third. Steve Hargan pitched 3 innings for Cleveland. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He walked 1. He struck out 2. And Vince Colbert pitched in the 9th, and he got all 3 batters that he faced out. Time of the game was 3 hours and 15 minutes. Once again, final score, Cleveland 4, California 3. This was an exciting game, I thought, today. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.